Guess who's back? Wifey's back.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Mwah.
So it's been 3 months, and for those who haven't,
3 hellish months, I might
yeah,
say.
3 very rough months. For
Mm.
those who didn't know, we had a bit of a health crisis, and my wife is still not a European citizen, which means that our health bills were pretty high, and she couldn't get the medical care that she needed here. So we had to take a little break. She had to go back to Argentina, but she's back now. She's back home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how has it been?
Well, it's been pretty rough. And maybe I should clarify some misunderstandings that have been going on, that like maybe my husband didn't explain himself very well, but the reason I went back were not just one reason, were many reasons. And one of them was my health. And yes, I was having anxiety and panic attacks, and I still have some anxiety left. But that was because of my health. Like my health issues were triggering anxiety. And it was rough because I was not doing good with my body. I was on top of that having panic attacks, and I couldn't afford my medical bills anymore. I couldn't keep going to the hospital. In fact, I was fully treated in the hospital here in Sweden, um, and everything went pretty fine. I just had some minor issues, but the thing is, I wasn't, I couldn't keep, I couldn't just keep going, and uh, we made the tough decision that I should go back to Argentina for a while, and we didn't know exactly how many time it was going to take. It, I mean, of course, we weren't. I mean, some of you were saying, "Oh, she's gone for 1 2 years," because he said that. But the thing is,
No, I said I don't know how long it
I
would
mean,
be.
we weren't going to be apart for that long. Of course, we were going to visit from time to time, but apparently, I mean, I could solve some of my health issues in my country. Plus, I could apply for Swedish residence, not citizenship, residence, and that's on process now. And that's the main reason I could go back to Europe, because if it wasn't for that, I was going to be deported. Um, and yeah, I mean, now I'm back because I felt like I mean, I was kind of okay, but that like after a month or something or less than that, I was like, no, this is not right. I want to go back to my husband because that's what I should be. And I
Hmm.
was expecting, I mean, the idea was for him to come to Argentina in short, but I was like, no, I just want to go back to my husband.
Yeah, we would have had to wait longer for me to be able to go there, which is why the date was so unsure, because don't really know how to do it. Um, but yeah, it's been very rough overall. The medical bills were super high, and it's not easy getting flights, especially for two people. Um, but most of that is taken care of now. You have been applied for residency, I think. I keep
Yeah.
mixing things up,
Yeah,
but
it's not citizenship, it's residency. I mean, for those who you don't know, being married to a Swedish citizen doesn't make you Swedish or doesn't grant you the right to a citizenship. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not. There's no such a thing, a green card. I don't know how many times we will say
uh,
that. Like,
well, many people. Here's how it is. Many people live in America and they think that the laws that are in America are the same literally everywhere. Because I don't know if they
yeah,
still have it, but America used to have something that was like a green card thingy where if you marry someone, they become a citizen. But
yeah.
that's like an American thing. I don't know if that even is a thing anymore in America, but that doesn't exist here in Sweden. So yeah, I don't know. Some people think that, but some people are not very educated.
No.
But wife's back. She's fine. I'm fine. Well, as fine
Yeah.
as we can be.
Regarding to my health, I mean, many people has been asking what's wrong with her health. Well, I think my husband told many times I have EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which causes a lot of symptoms. But one of the symptoms that I was having a lot was respiratory issues, which are kind of solved now. I'm treating that. In fact, I had to buy a breathing machine to like, it's not like a breathing machine, it's like a machine that helps me breathe better.
Well, it is
And
a breathing machine.
yeah,
Right?
it's not, but I mean, it's not like I'm on life support. I can breathe on my own, but
Are you sure?
yeah.
Are you
But
sure
I
about
have
that?
to. It's I have to make. I don't know how it's in English, but it's a nebulizador, nebulizations. Yeah, it's like a steam machine, and I need to do that often. So, and it's getting better. My breathing is getting better. Of course, when you have anxiety and you have breathing issues, of course, it gets worse. I mean, I couldn't even exist. I was so
Well,
scared all the
the
time.
thing is, most people don't know what that's like. I mean, you have to have, you have to be, you have to be sick or have health issues to be able to relate. Most people, when they see someone who's sick and they've never been sick, like they've never had chronic illnesses or anything like that, they can't really understand it.
No.
So, like for those who are in a similar situation, they can kind of understand what you're saying with like you have an underlying health problem and it gives very scary symptoms, and it's not very strange that that gives anxiety and can give you all kind, it can make all kind of things happen.
Yeah.
um but things are better now. Things are better.
Yeah.
Future is looking bright.
Yeah, my anxiety is not that high as before. In fact, I also treated my anxiety. Um, and yeah, I mean, mainly my health issue was breathing related. And also, I had this hormonal problem too that I also took care of. But the thing is, the medicine I was used to have doesn't exist here in Sweden. I mean, some of them do, but it's not the same.
And it's not
And
like available for everyone. You have to like go and get it prescribed. It's kind of
yeah,
strange to me how some medicines here that would be like you can't sell that anywhere. It's like something that you can just go and buy in a store over there.
yeah.
It's so weird to think about.
And here in Sweden, before I left, they prescribed me anxiety medicine, but it only made things worse. It didn't help a lot. In fact, it didn't help at all. um, and also, yeah, I mean, I went back to Argentina. I met my family again. I got treated, and then I started like feeling better. And when I started feeling better, I got bad again because I got depressed because of missing him a lot. I was
It
missing
must have
him
been
so
very
much.
rough.
In fact, there was a time when I remember we were always talking. And I remember one time, one day, he disappeared for like 15 hours. I mean, that he didn't reply, he didn't anything.
When was
And
that?
I think it was by mid-February. I mean, it wasn't long ago. You this,
Disappeared for 15 hours? I don't know.
yeah, something like, I mean, because you slept many hours, and on top of that, I think you forgot to tell me you were going to bed or something, and
Oh, that might have happened.
I
But I
was
don't.
freaking out.
But yeah, I don't
Uh,
know why the device just stopped
just stop
it just
recording.
stopped recording on us.
Yeah.
Well, dollar store equipment kinda.
I mean, and also I mean, I try not to let it affect me, but I guess, haters gonna hate, but it kind of affected me a lot when people were saying that I was only in Argentina to like to cheat on him and like to get laid and all that. And I mean, I usually don't care when they call me a gold digger, when they call me this and that, but hearing those stuff, I mean, me struggling so much with my health and having so much anxiety, and my family helping me a lot, and I wasn't even able to leave the house at the first 2 weeks or something.
I mean,
uh,
people like to make assumptions, and people try to make sense of why you would want to be with me, because
yeah.
so many people today, they don't believe in like good connections with others. They usually, most people today just use each other. That's just how it is. Like most people today aren't really friends. They're just, they're just using each other for different reasons. Most relationships are based on like gain. Like most people are together just to gain something. There's not much soul left in humanity. So it's not that strange that people kind of like, what is she trying to get from him, or what is he trying to get from her? And people just don't, people aren't human today anymore. It's sad, but that's how it is. And
No.
people try to always figure out the reason, or the, like, everything's a conspiracy theory today. You know, there are some people who think I'm like secretly a millionaire, and like, I mean, it just shows how people like
Today, I
have
mean, they
something to
only
say.
knew that today we only cool. We went shopping with 20 euro.
Well, we spent we had lots of, we were recycling cans, and we got $10 from all the cans, so
Yeah.
that was a good.
Oh, and the good thing is that when we were doing the can, we were recycle Panta. This old lady was right behind me, and she tells me, "Take, you can have my bags."
Yeah,
I was like, "What's super
that was
random?"
so strange.
Yeah,
Like we were recycling the cans, and then this really old lady just like, you can have our cans, or my cans. I was like, okay, thanks. I guess she saw that we, because we had like 3 bags
we had
filled.
three full. I know, and I
Like
was like,
I can show
yeah.
you all because I've been stacking up.
Just for the record, I knew that when I was coming back, I knew that I was going to have thousands of Panta or Pant. That's how it's called.
We had like, they were a
Mm.
bit more stacked, but we had like 3 or 4 of these, and I had like 10 of these bags. What has happened?
Yeah, and you wanted me to talk about the trip, right?
Yeah, the trip.
Well, um, I traveled on March 6th. It's now March 9. So that means I arrived on March 7, 2 days ago. And yeah, I was kind of nervous. I'm not going to lie. And I mean, of course, I was a little sad too because, I was in Argentina for 3 months. And of course, I met my family again. I met some of my friends again. And I was with my pets again. And yeah, I mean, I was missing him like a lot. But at the same time, I also was happy to be home. And, being an expat is like having your heart split. I mean, because here in Sweden, I have my significant other, the love of my life.
Hmm.
And I also made friends here too. But in Argentina, it's my whole life. My whole life is in Argentina. My family, my friends, my costume, my culture, everything.
It is
And,
rough starting
and
over
yeah,
in a new place.
it was rough to live again. Like, but I was like, I mean, my life is with David now. I can't
Well,
just.
if we ever get any possibility to move some nice to a nice place in Argentina, we can always take it. But we don't know
Hmm,
how the future is gonna look. We don't know,
no,
and the world is being such a crazy place right now.
yeah. But the thing is, yeah, I was like, I said goodbye from my family and friends. I visit many friends before leaving, and yeah, I mean, I got to the airport on March 6th in the morning, and it was a two layover flight. First, I took a flight to Brazil, to Sao Paulo, and then from Sao Paulo, I took a 10-hour flight to Lisbon. And it's in Lisbon where things got a little rough because when I arrived there, in the passport checking part, there was this man, and he just checks my passport and he asks me, "How long are you staying?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not sure." Um, And he's like, "Can I ask you why you overstayed?" Because he's like, "You overstayed for 8 months." And I was like, "Oh my God, they're sending me back here." I was like, "This guy is sending me back. They're deporting me to Argentina." And I was like, trying to explain. And he says, "Just tell me, do you have a residency? What?" And I'm like, "I started a residency and I have the papers here." So, because I had my residency papers, like that they were started. And I was about to take them out to show him. And also, I told him I'm married to a Swedish guy who, okay, okay, okay. He said, "Have a nice trip." He sent my passport, and I was able to continue. And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, but it's also to me it was a bit strange that they asked you for like
I mean, they should ask. It's their job.
yeah, but it's like by law if you leave on your own accord because it's like if you have like if you go to Sweden for instance you can stay 90 days and then if you get warned that you have to leave then you have to leave. Uh, and if you don't get warned, then there is no penalty for it. And you were never warned.
No,
And
no.
if you don't get warned, then you have to stay away. You have to be away from Sweden for 3 months, and then you can revisit legally. So it's kind of strange to me that they still asked you, but um, I guess they just have extra security nowadays.
In fact, when I left, I mean, the day I left here, Sweden, was November 30. And when I left from Arlanda, I had a layover in Paris. And of course, in Paris is where they check my passport when I was leaving. And the officer checking the passport, he just glossed over it. I mean, he just looked at it and sealed it, and he never asked me anything. He never say anything. He just sealed it, and I was able to continue. Um, and I was like, "Wow, that was easy," because I thought I was going to like be called out for that.
Yeah, but I remember I called before you left, well, like when you decided to stay longer. I did call the migration office to check on the rules, and they said like if you haven't been warned, then it's fine.
Yeah,
So should be fine, which is why it's so strange that upon your return that they would want more information. But it's all good now, at least, and
yeah,
your papers are in, and it's all a processing work now.
yeah. But I mean, in Paris they say nothing, and when I came back again through Lisbon, I mean, yeah, the guy just saw that, but he just asked me why you overstayed. And I was like, "Well, I overstayed because I was explaining the situation." And then he asked me, "Do you have a residency?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, my residency started. I can show you." Okay, no, 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 no. Have a nice trip. I think he just didn't want to
He was like,
do
"All
his
right."
job.
He's like, "Whatever."
Whatever, yeah. You're Swedish problem
You're
now.
you're typical Lisbonians.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a rough time. Like it was
It
quite a
was,
trip. It was a whole day for me too with the trains. I left 7 in the morning and came back. We came back at like what was it 9? No, not 9. It's like 7, 8 in the evening.
yeah, because also we had to like take the train home, and the train was uh, almost an hour late. Our train.
Yeah, it was. It was, and we also had to wait on the train for a bit over an hour, and then it was late. It turned into like 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah, and it's not a short trip from Stockholm to Dalarna.
No, it's pretty far.
Yeah.
But it all resolved and we're back together now. Everything's good. Hmm.
And if I were to leave again, he's coming with me.
Yes,
Because if I get called by, I mean, if Migrationsverket calls me saying that I have an interview, I have to go back to Argentina to make that interview, and I have to go back whether I like it or not. And he's coming with me this time.
yeah, when we're not spending time apart again.
No, we promise each other we're never apart again
Hmm.
because it's too painful. It takes a toll on your mental health. I mean, to me, it was very hard. I cried a lot. I mean,
It wasn't healthy for any of us.
No, my mental health was not doing good being away from him. I cried a lot. Like I don't think I cry so much ever like
I
before.
think those few that follow your streams can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't suicidal like everyone said. I mean, I was like, yeah, I was pretty tired, and not gonna lie, my will of living was kind of
Mm.
low. But no, I knew that I had to be strong to be with
We
him
had to
again,
hang in there. But yeah, that's
and because now I have a lot of plans for our future, like things to study. In fact, I'm going to. I decided that when I go back to Argentina at some point, I don't know when, I'm going to retake my translation studies in the same college. And because as for right now, I'm not doing it. And also, I've been thinking about studying here too. So yeah, and I also have this job thingy. So yeah, there's. I mean, in these few weeks, there's many things that were getting better, and I have now a lot of plans. I'm back with him, and I think my wound is getting better. I'm feeling better, and yeah, future looks bright, and all because I'm with him.
uh, it does look bright. But
We
yeah,
just had a
that's
rough patch.
yeah, it's been very rough.
Oh, but I need to say how we met. How we met again.
You mean when we met at the airport?
Yeah, when I got to Stockholm, I I picked up my suitcase, which the airline. I mean, the first time the airline lost my suitcase, and this time they broke it. My luggage was broken. I don't know why, but the thing is, I was kind of tired by the time, and I was calling him because also my flight from that's one thing. When we were arriving to Lisbon, there was this huge storm that we thought all in the plane we thought we were going to crash and die. You don't know how that was. It was terrible. It was terrific.
Terrific. Terrific.
No,
Not terrific.
terrifying. Sorry,
Terrifying.
sorry. My English is not my mother tongue, you guys. And yeah, it was
Mm.
terrifying. And that for that reason, for the weather reasons, is that my plane in Lisbon took off late, and I wanted to tell him, but I had no signal by then. And then I arrived to Stockholm, and I go out, and he was there waiting for me. And the first thing I do is I left my suitcase and I ran directly to him, and I hugged him,
Mm.
and I started kissing him so hard. And at one moment I said, "Okay, okay, they're gonna stare at us." And when I look around, there was two other couples like meeting again,
Mm.
and then we ate sushi together at the
Yeah, we had a
airport.
sushi meal on the
Yeah,
airport while waiting. Poor
mm.
sweetheart was so hungry.
Wasn't really hungry. It was just my body was just hurting all
Mm.
over. Like,
Well, I was hungry also.
yeah, you were hungry too,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean,
It was rough. It was very
uh,
rough.
and then I noticed that my Swedish was getting better too,
Yeah.
because I before meeting him, I was kind of lost, and I asked in full Swedish, "Where should I go?" and and usually when I speak Swedish, people like reply to me in English because they know I'm not Swedish. But this time, the man I asked, he replied to me in Swedish, so I was like, I must be getting better in Swedish.
Yeah, your Swedish is getting much better.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's our little update video. Wifey's back. We're alive. We're doing
Mhm.
fine. And yeah.
I love you.
And I love you, sweetheart. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will. We will see you all in the next one.